move on into the NFL, I definitely don't feel as confident in my plays this week in the NFL. And I was 1-4
Same.
last week in the NFL, so that just shows you. Um, I'll start us off with the number 5 play. It's just plain and simple. Pats -2.5. Belichick loves to wreck young quarterbacks. I don't think Zach Wilson is good enough to win many games. I know that he started last year some, but I just think that the Patriots are better than the Jets without Rodgers. So I know 2.5 is like a key number, and we've also talked about like how I've seen some stuff how like teams actually cover that number better or whatever. But I like the Patriots -2.5 for my 5th play of the week.
That's hold your nose and hit some it type stuff. It's
Yeah.
Zach Wilson against Bill Belichick. The 0-3 Patriots being a sentence that may exist in reality is crazy. I mean, sans Rodgers, the ceiling on this Jets team comes crashing down. The floor is about the same with the defense being what it is, but I don't hate that at all. Yeah.
All right, Grayson, what's your 5th play for the NFL slate?
My 5th one, it's kind of a gross game. I don't know what the status of Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be Sunday, but for now, with him potentially playing on that toe, I'll take the Lions -3 at home against Atlanta. Desmond Ritter has not shown me anything impressive whatsoever. I don't know if barely outplaying Bryce Young is the standard you want to set. This Lions team can score in bunches. Montgomery's out at running backs. They're going to have to play Jahmyr Gibbs, I hope, because he's so dynamic. I think he's going to play great. Josh Reynolds is going to have to step up at receiver if Amon-Ra is hobbled or out. They got Sam Laporta, the rookie tight end. Plenty of weapons for Goff. Like I mentioned, Gibbs, obviously the running back as well. He'll be in a timeshare, I'm sure, because they hate him for some reason. Just want to keep the training wheels on. I don't think he needs them. But give me the Lions at home to just out offense the Falcons, who needed a furious 13-0 fourth quarter to beat Green Bay last week. I don't think the Lions team is elite by any means. I still think the Packers is the best team in the division, but I think they get the home win Sunday.
Yeah, I love that play. I'll just go ahead and say it's my 4th play. So I'm with you. I'm not trying to jump ahead of Jack here, but I mean, I don't want to talk about it a second time. I think that they're better than the Falcons. I mean, Bijan, but the Lions front seven's pretty solid, especially their D line in general. So I think that they can contain him enough. I don't know if they can actually contain him, but especially
You
if
can never
Monroe
contain
goes.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, that I mean, you're not wrong. He's nasty, but especially if Amon-Ra goes, I think that I like Lions -3. All right, Jack, what's your 5th play?
Oh, before I go to my 5th play,
Good.
again, I also like that play. Was looking at it. I think, like as Grayson was saying, Ritter blows, and I don't care if Bijan goes 25 rushes for 500 yards. The Falcons probably won't win this game. I mean, they have Drake London and Kyle Pitts, but they need a quarterback to get to the ball. Kyle Pitts is open on majority of plays and never gets the ball, and it sucks for the fantasy, but it is what it is. But love the Lions there. But my 5th play, I'm going Steelers +2.5 against the Raiders. Man, this is a battle of 2 bad teams. I think I saw a chart today. The Steelers are offensively the worst team in the NFL, with one of, if not the worst quarterback in the NFL. But I think the Steelers defense, like they did against the Browns last week, come in clutch, maybe get a pick 6 to win the game or something. But I think the Steelers, it's not just +2.5. I almost would take Steelers money line. I think the Raiders just, I mean, outside of Devontae Adams, very one dimensional. With the whole Chandler Jones shit going on, don't know. But I like the Steelers just overall in this game, but +2.5. Why not?
I like that play. I personally am staying away from that game because it's 2 poverty teams, but they were on my short list until I narrowed it down. Real quick, I just saw this another stat on the Falcons. They've thrown to their receivers. I think it was either 12 or 14 times in 2 games. So 7 targets a game to wide receivers. I mean, that's just insane. I drafted Drake London in like 2 drafts because I mean, I don't know. I was like, he's the wide receiver 1. I know Desmond Ritter's not great, but you would think he'd get targets. So it's just absolutely insane. But back to the Steelers, I like it. I like their defense way better than the Raiders. I think Kenny Pickett might be able to find a little something against this Raiders defense. So I like that play.
And it's one of those things where you said, I'm not watching the game yet. It's one of the things I hope, I check the score box. I'm like, oh, Steelers won by 3. Bet.
Great, Grayson, take us in. If you have thoughts on that, obviously you can talk on that, but take us into your fourth play.
Yeah, I got the Steelers on my cards a little bit later. I feel a little bit more confident in them. But fourth, I'm also taking the points in a primetime game. It'll be Monday, though. Give me the Buccaneers plus 4.5 against the Eagles. I think this is just one of those just no man's land numbers that you hate to play. So I'll take the points. I don't think they necessarily win the game outright. I usually only try to take dogs if I think they can win the game. So going against my general rule in that sense. But I mean, Baker Mayfield on third down has looked like Patrick Mahomes against the Chargers. I mean, his stats are incredible. He's got the talent, the cast of guys, even with Fournette out at running back, they've still got Rashad White, excuse me, at running back. Sean Tucker, the Syracuse legend, in that backfield as well, emerging at least. They've got Godwin Evans at receiver, and I mean they've played reasonably well. I think at home, people haven't really looked at Baker and realized he might have a Geno Smith type season. Colin Cowherd made that comparison today about resurgent seasons and unlikely spots. So, like I said, I don't think they beat Philly outright, but I think they can definitely keep it close. We saw Baker shoot up the Rams last year and just light it up in prime time once. So, like anything close to that, this Philly team, the offense has not looked great. They've done what they had to do. Skated by the Patriots, let the Vikings make a game out of a blowout. So very uneven so far. I think they're going to be another dogfight on Monday night.
I like that play. I mean, the Eagles haven't looked great, but I went off about Baker earlier in our NFL previews. I went off about him, and I think that he's playing better than the massage therapy loving $200+ million quarterback that they took
Allegedly.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. But I think he's playing better than him this year. I don't hate it. I mean, the Eagles, if they get their shit together, should roll, but it's a big if because it doesn't look like they put it together yet this whole year. So, what about you, Jack? Any thoughts there, and then your fourth play of the slate there?
On the Bucks game, I didn't really kind of saw that, and I didn't really look at Monday night game. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of just stuck to Sunday, so it's okay.
Okay, what's your fourth?
But my fourth play, this may be a bit math because I'm going with my team. I'm taking Colts minus plus 8.5. Granted, AR probably is not playing. Not a great look, but I think with Minshew, he does have experience. I mean, he had that, had some magic there in Jacksonville, a couple years ago. I think with Minshew, he opens up our pass game a little more. Gets Pittman and Pierce and Downs more involved. The Ravens, to me, really haven't looked great. I mean, yeah, they beat the 2-0, but like they played the Texans, which we just beat, and then they played the Bengals, who the Bengals look like a show of themselves. So, like, is that saying much? I mean, I think plus 8.5 is huge too. I mean, if it was a little smaller, I probably don't play this game, touch this game at all. But plus 8.5, we don't look really that bad. I mean, we didn't look great against Jacksonville, but we looked really good against Houston. Lamar, to me, hasn't really impressed me that much. And if Marlon Humphrey is still out this week, which is a possibility, who's guarding Michael Pittman and Pierce? So give me my team in Baltimore plus 8.5.
I don't hate it. I was kind of wrong so far on AR. He hasn't. That's 2 games though that he's.
Or in Indy, my bad.
Yeah, 2 games that he's went down. Like the first game kind of went down at the end with I think he tweaked his knee a little bit or ankle, and then now the concussion. So I was kind of wrong on him, but I think Gardner Minshew is the best, if not one of the best backups, and possibly could be. He definitely is better than Ritter. Could start there. He could start on a couple of teams if he went and.
Hey, the Panthers, got Red Rocket starting this week.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that game actually at all. But I don't hate the 8.5. Any thoughts there, Grayson?
Yeah. I mean, any big spread in the NFL, I'm more inclined to take the points than lay them. I think the drop off from Richardson to Minshew might be a little over exaggerated. This Ravens team, not a team I'm super high on. Guys like Marlon Humphrey being out change a lot. It might not be reflected in the number necessarily, but yeah, I don't hate taking dogs even on the road. So I don't hate that at all.
Kind of piggybacking off that I'll make it my third play. Just flip flopping the Lions in this. I hit a 3-team teaser in college football. I think it was last week, maybe. Yeah, I think it was last week. I'm gonna go back to a 3-team teaser in the NFL this year. I'm actually taking the Ravens in it, so moving them down to 2.5. I'm going to take the Bills and the Titans. I just don't think that. I think that the Titans get up to 8.5, and I can't remember the number that the Bills are at right now, but it takes them down, I believe, below a key number. So those 3 teams, I like
6.5.
6.5. So yeah, that'll take them down to just basically money line. So money line Bills, 2.5 Ravens, and then 8.5 Titans, and that's at plus 160. I've hit one. Let's see if I can go 2 for 2.
I like that. I had a 3-team teaser last week, so they're one of the few exotic bets I actually can endorse. I'm not a big parlay person, but I think teasers are a good way to take some of the scariness out of these big NFL spreads, especially a week like this where you see 2 12.5s on the board, a couple more 8.5s, things like that. So I don't hate that strategy at all.
All right, Grayson, take us into your third play of the slate.
My third play, I'm again following in Jack's footsteps. I'm going to take the Steelers plus 2.5. I don't think I'm going to need the points, but I did need with Green Bay last week as they went on a point shaving mission for the entire fourth quarter. They still covered the 3 though, so hopefully I won't need the points of the Steelers because I'll probably bet a money line. Honestly, I don't understand even in Vegas or Oakland or wherever the hell they play this game why Pittsburgh's not favored. Hunter Renfrow is standing on the sidelines. Josh Jacobs rushing for like 1.5 yards a carry so far for this Raiders team. You forget Devontae Adams is even there because there's still nobody worth a damn throwing in the ball. And I think the Steelers, even without big contributors like Deontay Johnson, I believe Cam Hayward injured, and those are cornerstone type guys. Jack mentioned the chart on the Steelers offense. Matt Canada must be just in his own tier of dumbass, the way he's mismanaging the talent they do have healthy. I think Tomlin would be better served to fire him before he forces him into retirement to preserve his winning record streak through his years in Pittsburgh. This will be one I think they squeak by. I don't think it's going to be very overwhelming just because of their offensive struggles due to scheme. I think they have a lot of talent. I mean, Pickens broke a 71-yard touchdown last week. Najee, he kind of plods along, but he's got Jalen Warren there as a dynamic counterpart in the backfield now too. So it's not that I love Pittsburgh as much as I just don't like this Las Vegas team, and I think even teams on the playoff bubble, in my estimation, in Pittsburgh, they can't be expected to beat. So I'll take the points with the Steelers plus 2.5 as well.
Fair.
Hop on the train, buddy.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have to tail it. I'm not going to put it in my top 5, but we'll all have to be on that because it was on my short list. In all fairness, so Jack, what's your third play here?
Well, speaking on Grayson's all these big spreads at 12.5 2 games, I'm actually alt spreading Chiefs Bears, and I'm actually going up a point. I'm going Chiefs minus 13.5.
Okay.
Against the Bears, I think, as we saw, Justin Fields is playing robotic, and that could be due to coaching, as he did come out and just add the dirty laundries. I think the Bears look horrendous. I think Justin Fields is not the answer, regardless of scheme. The Chiefs haven't looked great in the first 2 games, but I think maybe this is the week Kadarius Toney maybe catches the ball. We'll see. Travis Kelce
last week.
My bad. Travis Kelce is another week healthier. I just don't think this game's even close. Like, I just don't even like 12.5. It was generous, so I was like, let me get the 13.5 at the -1 I wait too. So whatever, why not?
Yeah, on top of that, the Bears did just lose their defense coordinator, and
yeah, because he has hash rated.
Yeah.
That was false. That was false, but he did
Oh,
something bad.
I thought he got FBI rated. I thought the false thing was that the Bears facility did not get rated because they said that the facility got rated and it was false.
The
I
coordinator's
thought-
house got rated.
Yeah, the
Okay.
coordinator's house did get rated.
Yeah, so he's messed up.
Oh yeah, he's done. I'm not gonna
He's
say
gone
what
forever. And Hernandez.
heard it was for on live, but I mean they're in shambles right now. I think this is the perfect opportunity for them to clean house, get some new coaches in there, get Justin Fields somebody that can actually work with them possibly. But I don't hate it. I mean, hopefully the Chiefs can catch a little bit of a stride though. They don't look like the Chiefs of old right now. Grayson, start us off on your second play of the slate here, second favorite.
Yeah, I mean, if you were going to pick a game to be a 40-point game, this would probably be the one. Chiefs by 2+ touchdowns, -125. I just wanted to glance at that. That's not worth it. All spreads the other way is a bold choice, but when the exotic alternatives are juiced like that, I really don't hate it. This Bears team is in line to just get embarrassed. Justin Fields can try to just audible his way, run around. It's just not going to work. Chris Jones back is the anchor of this defense for the Chiefs, and they might not play a perfect game, but they won't need it, especially in Arrowhead. So I don't mind that at all. I hit a same game teaser in the Cowboys game last week. I'm going to go back to the well this week. I'm going to do it again in the Cowboys game. One of those 12.5-point spreads we mentioned. So I'm going to take the Cowboys down to a 6.5-point favorite. I'm going to tease the total down to 36.5 and go over. This numbers line up very similar to last week. This Arizona team, I don't think is as absolutely atrocious as we expected. They put up a fight against Washington, forced some turnovers, things like that. The unfortunate news about Trayvon Diggs coming out today means that Dallas defense is going to lose a key component. Obviously, my defensive player of the year prediction, Micah Parsons is going to do fine. They're not going to lose this game, but I think they absolutely win it by more than a score, even with the tough injury news and a practice on a Thursday, which is almost unheard of.
Doing 1v1s.
Right, which honestly, the fact that I don't know why they're doing that.
Yeah.
Cardinals game week, why the hell are you doing that? So just tough news, non-contact ACL, all those things. This season's over. But I think Dallas still has a really high ceiling as a team. I picked them to win the division. This is certainly not a game they can afford to stumble in. So I'll take them by at least a touchdown, put up 30 points, and give up a score somewhere in there to Josh Dobbs and the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Cardinals look a little bit better than expected, but they also have played Washington, who I saw their defensive line. I mean, they have weapons, but
Right.
St. Al is not great.
Free Zach Ertz.
Yeah, and then you got the Giants. They face the Giants, and we know how much of a mess they are. So, I mean, hey, they saved me, the New York Football Giants, baby. They saved me last week, but they shouldn't have. So, Jack, what's your second favorite play of the?
My second favorite play of the week is Dolphins Broncos. I have Dolphins -6.5. I feel like this line being this close is a little insane. I feel like it should be a little higher. I think the Dolphins, we know right now, the Dolphins are the best offense in football. I mean, even with Waddle not being, being injured right now, but like Tyreek Hill hooping, Raheem Mostert hooping, Tua on pace to throw for over 6,000 yards. Mike McDaniels has them cooking. Denver, to me, well, I don't think Russ is back yet, and I don't think he'll back this season. But I feel like this is a steal at 6.5. I mean, you could even, if you want to all spread it, make it 7.5, 8.5, whatever. Maybe pushing it, but predictions online have the Dolphins win this by at least 2 touchdowns, and I would like to see that happen.
I mean, I like the Dolphins this week. They were on my short list, but I didn't play them. I thought about maybe possibly using their money line as like something to get like a game over the into the positive numbers, but I didn't do that yet. But I don't hate that play. I think the Broncos look bad. So, any thoughts there, Grayson?
I mean, something like Dolphins Lions straight up as a 2-leg parlay, I'm not super against. The alt spread thing, these are the sharpest numbers of any sport that get to take. I just question, will Sean Payton somehow get a resurrected effort out of this team? Will Russell Wilson look like he was even close to a Pro Bowl at any point this season? This Miami defense will have the advantage. The offense, we've seen what they can do. This just feels like one of those weird NFL games where you look at 6.5 and think layup, and then something weird happens. Tua has weird turnovers. Tyreek Hill doesn't have 200 yards. Something odd. But I mean, if I had to put a score prediction on it, I'd probably put Miami by 10, 14 points, right in that neighborhood Jack's thinking. So, the 6.5, you can get it before it gets to 7. I think that's a good play.
Yeah. I mean, didn't I don't know for sure. I was just looking at my fantasy team earlier. I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill is questionable right now. Did he tweak something in practice?
Well, Waddle's questionable, but I don't know about Hill.
Waddle's in concussion protocol.
Okay. I could have swore I saw Tyreek as questionable, but it could have been somebody else.
Ankle issue.
Ankle. Okay. I thought he tweaked something. He's probably going to play though, just because I haven't really heard anything about it. I just seen the queue on my roster there. My second play, I'm going to go back to the well. Didn't work last week. Should have worked. Packers money line minus 118. I just think, I mean, they should have beat the Falcons. I don't know what the hell they were doing. I really don't. But I think that they're just a better team. Hopefully Aaron Jones is back. Possibly not, but I think that I don't like the Saints. I know defensively they're still solid, but don't love Derek Carr. Quick and simple. I just think the Packers are the better team, and they're at home, only getting a point. So, I mean, we always talk about if you like a team, if you like a team to win, take them to cover. So, I mean, you can play Packers -1, but if I'm going to get the Packers money line at minus 118, I'm perfectly fine with taking that.
I think Green Bay wins too. 1.5, just hope for no. And the game theatrics like that happened last week. They're on the wrong side of it, but they, of course, covered the 3, which was nice. But it's Derek Carr. He sucks. Defense has been good, will continue to be good. That team has been bad with a great defense before, and I think Carr is probably the best catalyst to keep that going. So, I like Jordan Love at home as well.
Yeah. I mean, that one's more of like a straightforward. I don't really have anything crazy to say, but this last one, kind of the same thing. I'm just going to start us off on our top plays. Also, going back to the well, didn't work out last week. Chargers money line.
Oh, damn it, Larry.
Chargers money line. I think the Vikings
are starting 0-3.
I think the
Let us suck in peace, please. That's all I ask.
I think the Vikings are ass. I think we picked the Chargers to win the AFC West.
I didn't.
I did
not.
I did. I did.
It's your fault.
So, I mean, dude, it's the perfect year. The Broncos aren't great. The Raiders suck. The Chiefs don't look like the Chiefs. Just get fucking rid of all these stupid ass losses. I also love the over in this game because I think both teams are going to score a lot. It's at 53.5. I thought about same game, not teasing it, but same game like outlining stuff at like I think it was +3 and then over 48.5, and I think that was like plus 120-ish. I don't hate that. I would play it, but Chargers money line in Minnesota. I don't care. I know Grayson's mad. I'm going back to it. I can't be 1-4 again. I could, but not this week. Chargers money line.
So I have that game as my number 1 play too. I unfortunately did not take the money at the spread. I'm taking the over 53.5. I feel like these are 2 top offenses and 2 shit defenses. I mean, I sent you guys a clip the other day. Brandon, or the coach, had Khalil Mack covering Tyreek Hill. Love that, Week 1, I mean, shit, that's like
it's the perfect
put me out there. Put me out there. I mean, hell, I think between Herbert, the way Herbert and Cousins are playing, are 2 top 5 quarterbacks right now playing. I'm saying Cousins is a top 5 quarterback, but the way he's playing is top 5 outside the interceptions. Herbert, as we all know, is looking like a top 5 quarterback every year in, year out, with the weapons that both teams have with Hawkinson and Jefferson, and now Akers for the Vikings. And then you have, if Eckler's back this week, even not, Josh Kelly's fine. And then Keenan, Mike Williams, and Josh Palmer, because the Chargers refuse to use Quentin Johnson for some reason. Don't know what's wrong with that, but Grayson maybe can talk more on that. I think this is a high-scoring offense, and basically whoever wins, the line set at 1, like the previous game we just mentioned. I think if the defense can hold a team to a field goal versus a touchdown, that's going to win the game. But just give me the points on this one.
Yeah, I mean, my top play is it's the over. I think the Chargers could very well lose 40-14 as we get there. I'm so sick and tired of the last 4 games dating back to last year. We've lost by 9 points. We made Ryan Tannehill look like Joe fucking Montana last week, throwing to 45-year-old Nuke and a bunch of other trash guys that probably wouldn't make the best. It probably wouldn't make the XFL Pro Bowl. So I'm just kind of done with it. Staley's a defensive coach. I think that's bullshit. Sean McVay's coaching tree is looking pretty withered and dead right now as he retires at 40 to avoid the cap hell the Rams are currently in. This team infuriates me. We played man against Tyreek Hill after we beat them last year playing zone. With like 6 of our top 10 players out, it makes no sense. I think Staley's brain dead or has some other job in mind because we're about to have him out the door pretty quickly here if this continues. At least we have Kellen Moore waiting in the wings as the offensive coordinator. Now that offense is great. It's top 5 offense in the NFL statistically. And yet our defensive head coach is getting his ass handed to him by Tua, who does not know where he is currently, and Ryan Tannehill, who has not been good since Texas A&M. So, yeah, the fact that you took Chargers money line, you should call a hotline. But I'll take the over. If the Vikings team total is less than 40, I would take it. I would take Justin Jefferson to score 3 touchdowns in the first half. And since we took Quentin Johnston instead of Jordan Addison, give me Addison over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns because why not?
Well, at least all of our first plays are on the same game. We can watch it and cheer for some points. I'm going to personally cheer for the Chargers with Grayson there, knowing that we're probably going to get heartbroken at the end of the game like always. They got to win eventually. I guess I'll just keep.
That's what last week was for. That's why you put Ryan fucking Tannehill on the schedule. But no, it's fine.
Okay. Oh, God. Okay. Well, there you have it. There's both our college football and NFL plays for the upcoming week. We'll have these tweeted out. We'll try and get some tweets out during the games. We didn't do great on that last week. That's kind of on me. To be fair, I was in the blue lot getting a little hammered. So that's okay. But we'll see y'all next week.